my name is Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I talk about things sewing, a little bit about my life, that kind of thing. I have tried recording this like several times already, so we're just gonna try again and see what happens. Just long story short, because like I've said, I've spent the last like 45 minutes recording this multiple times. I was supposed to post a part two of the jumpsuit video that I was making. Part one was a mock-up of the pattern. It's right. This is half of it. um, that was part one of the video, just showing like making the mock-up of the pattern. It was a mood pattern that I made. If you're interested, it'll be up in here in the card somewhere. And it ended up just like being good enough, really, and like not really realizing that some of the stuff that I did kind of wasn't gonna be visible until I finished working on that mock-up. So I made the changes that I needed to make. And we have right now a jumpsuit. She's like 90% done. Essentially what happened was I recorded the whole process of me making this jumpsuit, and almost all of the footage got corrupted. Some of the B-roll was fine, but me talking about it, the intro, explaining the process, all of it, audio files all got corrupted somehow, and I don't know what happened. Who knows? Who knows? It's really irritating, but it happens. And that included the final reveal footage. And in the reveal footage, you would have seen that the back was gaping so much, to the point where it's like something that you wouldn't have noticed until you put the zipper in and you try it on with the zipper, which I did not do with the mock-up. And that's really kind of on me, right? So what I have done, that I will explain later on as well, is I added not necessarily some darts, but like some kind of large, they're almost like they're almost like tucks. I just like tucked fabric in and like made like a big dart to really take that fullness out of the pattern. And there was also some gaping in the front neckline that kind of came even after I did the changes involving the neckline. So, essentially, to recap you about this, whenever I have to make patterns, I almost always have to do what's called a full bust adjustment, because the difference between my high bust here and my full bust, which is below the shot, is about 6 inches, which is like a lot for if you're familiar, most sewing patterns use what's called a B cup, so that's like a 2-inch difference between your high bust and your full bust. So most patterns assume that. They do not assume that you have a 6-inch bust difference like I do, which means I had to adjust for those 4 inches that the pattern itself is not accounting for. And usually what I can get away with most patterns, depending on like how the neckline is I can add darts and then move those darts into the side dart or into a waist dart. Dart manipulation is like 90% of what pattern manipulation is. If you ever want to see a dart manipulation video in action, I recommend The Closet Historian. She does really great content about this kind of stuff, but like it's all essentially the same thing regardless of whether you're doing modern or vintage or anything like that. So essentially what happened is there was a lot of gaping in the front along the neckline that I pinched out and moved into the side dart. And so all of that fullness went into the side dart. But somehow, when I made this jumpsuit, more of that pooching in the front neckline came back. So I decided, and also it was to the point where it was also not really worth trying to move it again, because the bra that I normally wear was also showing in a way that I don't love. So what I have done is I'm just going to pinch through the sides there and hand stitch them together, because now they're all bound with bias binding. All of my ends, I took like a cotton bias binding and used that instead of hemming it like I normally would, mostly because I wanted some fun little contrast, and also I didn't feel like doing all the rigmarole with hemming. So yeah, bias binding it was. I luckily had some thread in my stash that matched the bias binding completely. So It worked out great, but that meant that it was harder for me to fix that pooching once I discovered it in the final try on. So, all of that to say that I still have to finish the neckline stuff. It is going to require me to do some hand stitching off camera. I'm so frustrated with with that at this point that I'm kind of just like I need a break from it a little bit. I also am tailoring a boiler suit for a friend, and I've also have just been like I need to like take a break from that too, because boiler suits are harder than I thought to alter. It's not that I'm good at tailoring anyway. I don't do any tailoring work for people, and that boiler suit kind of reminds me. Anyway, that's where I've been so far. So throughout this part, you might see some footage of different aspects of me making this jumpsuit. All in all, a really fun sew, because it was kind of quick. I mean, ultimately, had I had the time to do it in an afternoon, it probably would have been done in an afternoon. But because my life is the way that it is, it took me like a week to do it. So yeah, that's kind of where that jumpsuit has been. This part here is mostly me trying to talk through what I want to actually make after all of this stuff is done, because I do want to get stuff done. I think my next project really is going to be, I have 2 bags of like cabbage, which is just like fabric scraps. I mean, I have old mock-ups in there that are just like small enough to not be good for other projects, and just cut in such a way that it's not really what I'm looking for. So cutting them up into other things is kind of where I am looking to do them right now. And I've never done patchwork before. It really has never been my style, but I've been watching a lot of stuff about it, so I really want to try it. So I'm gonna be working on some patchwork. So I thought we would talk through some inspiration here on the old YouTube. And if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, now that I've been talking for 10 minutes, yeah, keep on watching. Grab a snack. Grab some notes if you find anything interesting to you. I have not planned any of this in any way, shape, or form. I'm just gonna go through my Pinterest board and see what Pinterest algorithm finds for me. And we're also gonna report some AI images when we find them. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm just gonna put myself down here in the bottom, and we are gonna open up my Pinterest. And here is my little Pinterest board. Isn't she cute? Let's see. Kind of just want to go through and like pull what's fascinating to me. So, one thing I've been really loving is oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with these. Just like this pair of earrings here. Let's save that real quick. I've been obsessed with like these 2-piece suits that are kind of a little bit, they're like if Solange were like into Coastal Grandmother, but like a little bit more minimalist, you know what I mean? I'm really into that right now. This has also been inspiring to me, these little bagu style things, but it's like organza, which is really fun. But this is kind of what I've been thinking about in terms of 2-piece suits. So let me see if I do like a linen 2-piece set. Let's see what pops up. I know the trend a couple years ago was to do this with like a vest and a bottom, and I'm hecka into it. But I think what I really love is this 2-piece set here. I've been seeing this a few times. Kind of want to make something like this. I have a bodice block, so I could easily modify that to be kind of what I want in terms of the look on me. These ladies look amazing. And I love these colors that they've chosen. This like cornflower blue, as well as like that olivey green. That olive green is kind of what really pops to me here. Let's see what else. I do love this little 2-piece set here. Oh, you know what? Here's the thing. I am so into this like elasticated, both the elasticated waist and the pant on the pants and the top. I think I'm actually going to save this for my personal mood board real quick. And ignore that, and then save it to my board. I think this is kind of what I really am envisioning when I want to make something kind of linen-y and summery and everything like that. This would look great in this like teal cotton that I have. that I really want to make. I really either want to make a dress or a two-piece set out of it. I have another bit of like a little bit deeper, but it's like a cotton, another cotton that I have that I got from when I was in Arizona. I really, yeah, something about that split pant leg and this like really, it's like such a simple top, but instead of it being darted, it's like down gathered at the waist. Something about this is just like really casual. You can really dress it up or down. I'm really into it. Let's see. I also want to like make some sort of like summery dress. I did download this mood pattern. It's called, you know what? Actually, I will pull it up for you. It's the milkmaid dress, the Anthea milkmaid dress from Mood Fabrics. I have this pattern printed out and ready to go. Though I got a bunch of cotton wool for this product for this wow this product, goodness me, I'm so tired, for this pattern, and I am super into it. The problem is that I don't know. Like I part of me really wants to make this dress. I mean, look at it. It's like a perfect like dress up or dress down type of dress. The cotton I think will make it very casual and fun, but like I don't know, something about it stops me. It could be the bust. I always have concerns about this type of bust line for especially with me with a 6-inch bust difference. Oh, this is what I love. Yes. This little one shoulder linen number with the tie and just like these fun details. Oh, it's already in my board. Perfect. Yeah, I think I'm inspired by this too. So we're gonna pop that. And then whenever I come up with outfits, I always do like a personal mood board that's like off of Pinterest. I'll like add it to my Canva, so it's just like in the cloud, or I'll add it to like a Notion page or something like that. Let me know if you want to see how I organize and plan for these types of things, and I'll be happy to make a video about that. Um, but yeah, this seems like the summer for like fun little dresses because despite the horrors, we are going to be outside. Oh, I love this royal blue number. I have never like found royal blue to be really fun to wear for me, but man, do I love seeing it on other people. So let's see. What if I did patchwork outfit? Let's see kind of what people are doing with this. This is fun. It's like kind of this is kind of what I envision here. Although I don't want it to be a whole jumpsuit. I would love for it to be like a little tight little top and like a big floofy bottom. I think that's fun. And I think I don't know, this seems like the thing that is going to be really in as people get more into like making their own clothes and things like that. I have no qualms about stealing Shein's images. So this is kind of what I want whenever I want like a little vest set. So never gonna buy it from Shein. I don't buy things from Shein, but I will steal the look. Oh, this is cute. Oh, I love that. I don't know how I feel about wearing plaid on myself per se, but that's adorable. Let's see. I love I love these little patchwork details. This is kind of what I'm aiming for. I don't have a lot of prints, but something that's like colorful like this, I think could be really fun. And I really love these little muted tones that they've put in this garment. So yeah, I'm just looking at all of the patchwork. I gotta see if I can find some inspiration. I think I'm gonna do some sketching and see what I can come up with. I kind of want to do jumpsuit pants, but like gathered like this because I know that I have enough fabric for it. I'm looking at the 2 bags of cabbage upon cabbage, and I think it could be really fun to just create like a simple top or like make a big pair of pants to go with it. Oh, these are fun too. They give me there's a secret part of me that wants to be like a little art student walking from my little pottery studio and just going through and just like being a little artist in my little studio. And something about patchwork always gives me that vibe. It's very, I don't know, something about patchwork has always been really whimsical to me. I love this. This is fun. I also have been really into color blocking, especially with color combinations like this like chartreuse with lavender. So fun. It's like really out of my comfort zone, but just, really out enough for me to really want to get into it. So yeah, if you have an idea for how I could best like color block things, absolutely into it. Oh, this is fun. Um, oh, it's from Shein. The I will say the big thing that I really also want to add into the patchwork stuff is, for my last costume project, I had to do a lot of hand embroidery on costumes, and as like tiring as that was, mostly because I was in a time crunch, it was so fun to actually physically add a bunch of what was decorative stitching, that looks like visible mending onto costumes to look like people had been repaired. And I really loved that feeling. So I would also want to be able to like add shishiko detail, to this big patchwork thing. And yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm looking at for that. Let me see. So yeah. Oh, I thought I was gonna have more to say about this. I mean, this is kind of self-explanatory. Look how fun and whimsical these are. And also, it's like so far out of my comfort zone that I almost like want to give it a try so that I can get this fabric used up and really appreciated. Let's see what else I could do. Another thing I could look for is like, sometimes I like to do this on Pinterest just to like get some inspiration for things that I would want to make. Oh, someone in the comments a few videos ago mentioned Muna and Broad patterns, and I have been really thinking that I kind of want like a colored button down shirt, just like something really simple and minimal. And this, it is the Bakery shirt, I want to say. Yeah, the Bakery shirt. Let me double check. We're going to check together. Yes, the Bakery shirt. This is the one. I love the cut of this. I love how cute and boxy it is. I think this will go really great for all of the like barrel shaped and wide leg pants that I love. So I think I will also add this to my sewing wish list now. I have this like, so back when I was in Arizona, we the only like fabric shop that we could find, the only fabric shops you can find in general were like mostly quilting shops. But there was one in particular that had cotton fabrics that were like advertised as being for quilting, but were actually, I don't know, something about them when I went to go feel them in the store, they were like plenty fine for apparel. So I got a good, like, there was like an end of bolt of this like yellow ditzy floral that would be great in this pattern. And then the other bit was like 4 or 5 yards of like this peacock blue. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I did wash it, but I haven't like actually double checked the yardage, but it's a good amount. It's enough for a 2 piece set. So it works out great. But I am obsessed with this. Whoever mentioned Muna and Broad in that pattern roundup video that I did, I am hooked. I really want to try this shirt. I think it'll be great. I just kind of haven't bit the bullet and I haven't just like bought the pattern yet. Part of me wants to just go ahead and do that and like find a way to get some secondhand buttons and make the shirt and add a bunch of shishiko detailing. Maybe I'll even do the mock-up with patchwork just to see how it feels. But yeah, something about this pattern, so simple yet so inspiring to me. Same thing, it's the same energy with the Helen's Closet Gilbert top, which, let me show you this one. Oh God, okay. We're so good at typing on the computer. Wonderful. We're so good at typing on the computer. Let me show you this top. I love this top so much. It's so cute. Same vibe as the Vakery shirt, but just, it's like a little bit different, but ultimately kind of gives you the same energy and a little bit of versatility. I'm sorry. No, I don't want that, Helen. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really into this. I'm super into this pattern. It's like very fun and very whimsical. I really want to make a few more pairs of pants, and I think having either one of those two patterns that is like kind of a good blank slate that I can make a number of things out of. I'm leaning toward the Vakery shirt. Just I don't know, something about this gives me good feelings. So I'm leaning toward that. I actually, we're just gonna do that real quick. Okay, great, wonderful. And I'll come back to that after. But just like yeah, I just love both of these. They're so simple but so fun. Love them both. Don't know which one I will do yet. But I have a good number of cottons and things in them to really be able to have some fun with it. I think the thing that stopped me is I'm really intimidated by colored and button down shirts. No, give me a zipper in some silk or satin any or like polyester satin any day, but if you give me a button down shirt, I am quaking in the corner. So we're gonna see what we can do about that. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been planning to do. Just like two-piece sets. Oh, I will say the thing that inspired me to do this pattern, actually, I'm just going to go here. It was another mood pattern that really inspired me. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. Nope, we're just going to. If you're ever shopping on Mood and like looking through the blog for pattern inspiration, they haven't updated this very recently, but one thing I like to do is I like to go down here. There's an option to look through the technical flats for the sewing patterns just to kind of see what pulls your fancy. And this dress is one that I like started before and didn't finish, and it's currently actually in the old mock-up pile. I didn't really like the fabric for it. It's this dress here. It's the nettle dress. Gotta remember, there was a blog post they did featuring this dress, and they made like a midi length version by slashing and spreading the bottom of this skirt piece. And I really want to do that. I actually made a sketch of possibly doing that with some of the larger swaths of fabric that I have. And so I'm debating whether that's what I do with the summery dress option. And then I would use my bodice block to change this bodice. Because the thing that stops me from making this dress is I hate bodices like this, especially in plus size clothing. It just looks like you're trying to hide a belly, but really it just makes you look strange. Like it doesn't make you feel good, you know? And so it's really something that's kind of stopped me from making this dress is this top here. So really fixing this up, I think would be like the thing that I would need to do. And maybe just make the skirt and add like a simple bodice up top with like a flutter sleeve or something. Just to really pull that in, just because I like things a little bit tighter to the body personally. So that's like kind of what inspired this is like how I can modify this guy. Some other patterns that I really have wanted to make, aside from those two, because those are the two that most recently came up. And this is not like a summer outfit that I wanted to make. Here, I will actually show you. But I've been meaning to make a wool coat for the longest time. I have like 5 yards of wool that are ready to be made into a coat, and all the fixins, like the twill tape, the lining, all the buttons. I have all of it. I just like haven't gotten around to it. And so the thing that I was really wanting to make was this guy. This is the Clark coat, and the main reason I wanted to make it was for these big old sleeves right here. I am obsessed with these big old sleeves, and like I have such like a classic color of wool. It's just a plain like camel color with like a really subtle like blink and you'll miss it stripe, like pale brown stripe in the middle, like or not in the middle, but like throughout. It's like so subtle you can't see it. But it would look so beautiful with this like big old patch pocket, and like or even these like welted pockets here and a belt. I really want to make a coat, and I feel like this like big lapel, this like calls to me so much, and I'm really into it. And I might spend the summer making this so that by the time next fall rolls around, I am ready with a new coat, because my old torrid coat from like 2014 when I first moved to Ohio, she's on her last leg. essentially have restitched every single seam on that coat because it doesn't last very long. And so the only things that have like stuck together are the things that I've restitched on it. So that's kind of where we are with the sewing plans. But I want to know down in the comments, what are you sewing right now? I I think the next thing I want to make is I want to make the patchwork so that I can just really come up with like I kind of just want to take my sewing machine and just sew and sew and sew in those little patchwork pieces and really get that together and kind of figure out what I want to make with that. And I think that will be my next project. Either that or making the dress, just because the other sketches, like I said, I've made those. They're on my iPad, so I don't have them immediately to pull out right now. I don't know. What are you working on right now? What's been tickling your fancy? And yeah, I want to know what you thought of this video, what patterns stuck out to you. If you like this video and want to see more like this, please let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Thank you all so much for your patience as I have dealt with projects outside of YouTube and just like personal things. I hope that by kind of forcing myself to get those things on the back burner, that I can really focus more on bringing great stuff to the channel. DaVinci Resolve on a Mac notwithstanding. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Okay.